We're now joined now by Nick Lorensen. Nick, how are you doing on this? What is it? Monday?
I'm doing okay. Queens is in a little bit of a losing streak right now, so I'm living hour by hour. But I always love to talk college hoops. I'm watching some Southland basketball right now. That's pretty much all we have on tonight. Nicholls State, Incarnate Word.
If we're talking mid-major basketball, yeah, that's about all we got on. But I think there's Colgate Lehigh, or is that that's men's basketball, and then you got UNC Wake.
Hey, Wake's pretty good this year, and UNC's undefeated. Who would have thought?
So that's where we're going. But yeah, with Queen, shout out Queen, shout out the Royals. Let's first your role with the Royals. We're talking mid-major. They're making the jump up. We've all talked about waivers. I don't know if the Royals are necessarily in line for that said waiver, but you guys are going through that Division II to Division I jump. How's your role with the Royals, and how are you liking working with a coaching staff the way you are this season?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I didn't think I was going to do it. I've been in media for 4 or 5 years at this point, so I didn't expect to really hop in the coaching side. I kind of wanted to do it in high school, shied away from it. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of video scouting. I'm pretty much the assistant director of operations this year. So, it's a lot of fun. You go out on the road, you visit all these cool venues because, that's one of the main things I love about college basketball, checking out these different places around the country. Everyone has its own unique places. We went to Jacksonville on Thursday. It's like playing in a shoebox. I think it's 16-16. The walls are like cinder block. It hasn't been updated in the last 70 years. They don't have AC in there. It's really a special place. And I would have never been there if it wasn't for Queens. So it's a lot of fun. We're just trying to get everything together right now. We're 1-4 to start conference play. We had a really tough end to non-conference play, but we have a little chance here to hopefully get back over 500 with 3 out of the next 4 at home. We got to win what we got to win, and we've been good at home, so hopefully we can pick that up.
Man, you already got the coach speak down. I love it. You gotta win what you gotta win. Control the controllables. All of that. You're hitting every nail on the head. I love it.
I try.
But so I want to dive. I'll let Bennett take it where he wants to go, but I want to start with App State. You had a front row seat to App State. They came to the Queen City to play the Royals earlier this season. We saw App State in person earlier. They're a long team. They're a big team. They block shots at an extremely high clip. They're scary good. Is App State the team that will dethrone JMU if JMU has a hope of making this NCAA tournament run that I think we've all talked incessantly about?
Yeah, they already beat them once, and it was at JMU, and it pretty much was App State the whole game outside of that low run where James Madison kind of made it close and battled. But it felt like App State really had control for most of this game. We're going to see it on Saturday. Hopefully the Dukes can pick up a win, split it, go 1-1 on the season, because that's really what they need. If they want to make the NCAA tournament, they have to continue winning out. They have to split with App State. It would be really tough to lose both games to App State, have those 3 losses. But App State's just a physical, tough team. They don't have the largest players, but every single one of their players is just a rock. They're all rocks. They're super tough defensively. That's why you don't see one player really shine, because they all have similar averages, but that defense is on a different level. They're 34th in adjusted defensive efficiency on KenPom right now. So, I know James Madison's been playing great defense. Their offense has been great for the last couple of years under Coach Byington, but that defense is really coming into form. That's what's the difference maker this year. So hopefully they can combat that. They obviously have a better offense. JMU does. 1-1 is what they need to make the NCAA tournament, because the rest of the Sun Belt really isn't that good. You really can't afford to lose any other games. I'm looking at their KenPom right now. The highest team they play the rest of the year is Arkansas State, who's 159th. I didn't know Arkansas State was that good, to be completely honest. I don't even think they're that good.
That one seems, like borderline high for Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Did you expect the Sun Belt to be a little deeper? I know this year, I think there were some people who were maybe excited about some teams outside of App State and JMU. Are you surprised that it's kind of just 2 right now?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I thought Marshall would be a little bit better. They struggled heavily in non-conference outside of beating Queens, of course. Southern Miss, I thought Southern Miss was going to maybe run it back. They
Yeah.
struggled in non-conference, but they're playing a little bit better now. But they still struggled quite a bit. South Alabama, they always do in non-conference and pick it up later in the season. So hopefully they're kind of creeping towards that way. ODU, I thought would be a little bit better, but they have all the troubles. I hope Jeff Jones is doing well, but they're having all the troubles over there. Georgia State, I think, could be a sleeper to be in the top 4. I know they had a good start to conference play, so maybe that's a bright side in the league. But yeah, the league has just been really, really not that good this year, with the exception of App State and James Madison, or two of the better. I keep saying James Madison, not JMU. I feel so weird doing that, but two of the better mid-major teams in college basketball, and just the rest of them are kind of eh.
Is there any chance that one of those teams like can put anything together and like because at this point it seems like you got quad 1, quad 2 if we're talking at large, we're talking building out the resumes now, even for app to like build up a better seating for whoever gets the auto bid. It seems like it's just a bunch of quad 4 games and then you get 1 or 2 quad 1 or quad 2 games as it stands right now. Is there a chance for, a Troy? I don't know what the injury status is with Andre Curbelo. I don't know if he's coming back this season, but can Southern Miss kind of find a way up, or have you seen anything out of these Sun Belt teams that make you think, okay, there's a glint of hope?
Yeah, I mean, Southern Miss would probably be the first one, but they just didn't have a good non-conference where, maybe moves them into a quad 2 or a quad 1 win. I know there's absolutely no way to become a quad 1 win, but it'll be really tough for them to become a quad 2 win, just because their best win in non-conference was really UAB. And I mean, they didn't lose anyone. Why are we laughing at UAB?
No, I'm laughing because if that's your best win, like that is a
Yeah.
bad win.
That is a bad win. They did have a good start to conference play. They have a big game at Charlotte tomorrow, but that's a bad win. They thought maybe Milwaukee would be a little bit better. They really didn't have bad losses in non-conference, but they did open conference play with a loss to Georgia Southern, who, I mean, they didn't win a game in non-conference, and for some reason they're up there towards the top of
They're
conference.
4-3 in
Yeah,
conference.
what is that about?
They're 4-3 in conference. So that is a great look for the Sun Belt. An 0-15 team is now sitting at 4 and whatever they were coming into it. 0-11, I think. I don't even know.
That shows exactly how this league's been this year.
Sucks.
It sucks. I really think, Southern Miss, Louisiana, I mean, Bobby Marlin always does a great job over there. There's a chance if they win, maybe they've already won 3 straight. They rattle off, 2? They have 6 more until they play at App. They could get in the top 100 of the country. They made the NCAA tournament last year, so they had that behind their back too. But they could get in the top 100 of the country. That could sneak up into they've already played JMU, but yeah, I mean they lost to JMU at home, so that could maybe turn into a quad 1 win retroactive there for the Dukes. But I really think it comes down to Louisiana, Southern Miss. I really like Georgia State, but I don't know if they become a quad 1 win as well, because they're 9-9 on the season. They're 4-3 in league play, but realistically, it's going to come down to Louisiana and Southern Miss.
Yeah, the Georgia Southern one is tough, right? I saw some Sun Belt fans trying to sort of reason with this on Twitter the other day, where they're like, "Hey, it actually says that the Eagles have turned it around nicely." I think it's just a horrible look for the Sun Belt. I don't know if you can really skew it any other way.
No, you can't. I think it's just 0-12.
No, nice talking. That's bad. That is
They're
bad.
horrible. I don't understand it at all. They lost twice to North Florida. They lost to Eastern Michigan, who's 330th in the country. They looked horrible. I don't understand.
It's not good. Not good. We did learn that the Dukes have one exciting non-conference game still left. You got the Sun Belt MAC Challenge, so they're going to host Akron on February 10th. What can you tell us about the Zips, who are a perfect 6-0 in MAC play? They're 14-4 on the year. Look like they have quite a nice little squad.
Yeah, they do have a nice little squad. They have a really good squad. I watched them at Kent State on Friday, and they pretty much dominated their rivals. And that's a tough atmosphere because those Kent State students come out. A couple years ago, we saw damn near fight at the end of the game. But they bring back Ali, who was at I believe he was at Butler the last 2 years. I always want to say Illinois, but he was at Butler the last 2 years. And ever since they allowed two-time transfers to start playing, they've been a completely different team because he wasn't able to play that first month and a half. I believe they've lost one game, and it was an overtime game since he's been able to play. He is probably going to be the player of the year in the league. I mean, he did it in the past in the MAC, and he led Akron to their last NCAA tournament. But they have him. They have Enrique Freeman, who I didn't realize until a couple weeks ago was a walk-on, and he's one of the best big men in the country. He's top 5 in the country in double doubles.
So you can
But
just walk on big men? You
he's
don't have
just
to like wait 5 years to
no.
get a good one through the door? What?
Yeah, he just walked on and became like one of the best big men in the country. I had absolutely no clue. He's been playing his first game. He put up so he came off the bench in his first game. They said I think he had 17 rebounds. It was his first game as a freshman walk on, and they're like, "Yeah, this guy's starting every game for us here on out." So he's insane. They have Sammy Hunter from the Bahamas. He's a good player. John Gross, he was at Illinois for quite a while. He's a very eccentric head coach. Uh, it's a very exciting brand of basketball. Really good team. If JMU is able to pull off that win, that's going to be one that's going to be on their resume because I full-heartedly think Akron's the best team in that league by a long shot. Obviously, they're the top 2 teams in the net rankings, and that's why they're playing each other in this challenge. But I think that could be one of the best wins on their resume. I could argue that Akron's maybe a better team than Michigan State.
Oh, we
Well, the way
like
the
that. We
Spart-
like the sound of that.
Well, the way
Yeah.
the Spartans have just kind of folded
Mhm.
since that, you could argue that loss to JMU sparked this kind of downfall of the Spart. If Tom Izzo leaves
First
after
of
this
the
year,
year.
you could argue that the Dukes started the downfall of Tom Izzo. I got to ask, the player you mentioned from the Bahamas, is he the best player from the Bahamas, or I feel like Queens might have the best player from the Bahamas in the nation.
They do. Dayton Allberry. He puts up 25 points every game, just goes downhill right to the hoop. That kid is a bucket.
I don't know.
Bucket.
For all JMU fans listening to this, Dayton Albury, I highly recommend you watch his highlight reel from this season with Queens because I tweeted it watching, I think it was the Florida Gulf Coast game. He's the best player in the nation you have not seen play basketball.
Yeah. There's no one else who goes downhill like him. I mean, it's insane. If everyone else around him would let him do it, he put up 50 points every game.
Yeah.
Like North Florida, just their whole plan every time he had the ball, they're like, he's going downhill. He dropped 27 points. They knew exactly what he was going to do every time, and he dropped 27 points. If he wasn't on the team, it'd be a completely different story. It's not a great story, but it would be a completely different story.
I would love if Terrence Edwards played like that instead of chucking up
More
8
downhill.
threes. Yeah,
Yeah.
just give me downhill Terrence. And I could see maybe 1 or 2 threes from him a game and just have him go downhill, get to the line a bunch. I got to ask you, Nick, what can JMU? Oh, this didn't go where I needed it to go.
You're so frustrated with where the Dukes are. You covered up Nick.
It's right on my mouth, JMU.
So JMU currently 20th in your top 25, your mid-major top 25. I need to know. One, I need to know how to work StreamYard so this looks better. But secondly, I put it as an overlay. That's why. Yeah, that's on me. JMU 20th in your top 25. I need to know how the Dukes are going to move up and crack this top 10 by the end of the season.
Well, the first thing's beating App State and splitting it. I don't feel right putting them above App State when they beat them. I mean, none of JMU's wins, really, when you look at it at this point, have been that amazing outside of Michigan State because there hasn't been another top 100 win. Their biggest win outside of that was Southern Illinois, who's 107th in the country. So they have to pick up some quality wins. They beat Akron. They jumped them, too. if JMU is just able to win the rest of their games in conference play, there's no doubt, and that Akron game. That Akron game's just, they don't even have to win that Akron game, to be completely honest. If they win out in conference play, there's no doubt in my mind that they'll be an at-large team. And that's kind of what I look at with the top 10. I feel like the top 10 are all at-large teams. St. Mary's would be on the bubble. Indiana State would be on the bubble. Princeton would probably be on the bubble. Grand Canyon would be on the bubble. And 15 through 25 are just the best of the rest mid-majors that have a chance really to make that jump. If I were to be completely honest, out of 15 through 25, JMU probably has the best chance because of that non-conference schedule and that win against Michigan State, because none of these other teams really have as big as a win as they do. I know everyone's going to mention App State beating Auburn, but I mean, that was at App State. JMU went on the road. That's still a quad one win, winning at Michigan State. So they have to win out. They have to win out in conference play to get in that top 10. I still think there's a really, really good chance, though, that if they lose in the conference title game, but they win out in Sun Belt play, that they'll be an at-large bid and they'll be a 2-bid Sun Belt.
Damn.
That's what we love to hear.
A terrible Sun Belt year ends in a 2-bid Sun Belt.
That'd be something. My question too, Nick, is which team in that top 25, which fan base gets most mad about being considered a mid-major, and why is it Memphis?
I hate it. I'm blocked by Will GTG 901. I still look at his tweets. He's going to clip this if he sees this. There's probably no way he's going to see it. He doesn't block me on my personal account, so I'll look at his tweets whenever they're losing, just to get like a little smile. Queens played at Jacksonville on Thursday, and it was a 3-hour game. But I got a text message. I went on my phone. Nick's going to be so pissed that he lost, but he's going to be so happy when he sees that Memphis blew a 20-point lead. Yeah, they blew a 20-point lead. I mean, I still think that they've got a great team, and they're probably better than FAU at this point in the season. But the coaching has always been a little bit questionable with Memphis. It looked like Penny was finally coming around, and I mean, these 2 losses have just not been that good. I hate Memphis fans in my mentions. It's so annoying.
I didn't realize they were so defensive about being viewed as mid-major until earlier this year when I saw your top 25, and Memphis fans were like, we're not a mid-major. I was like, well, if the AAC team's getting left out of that FBS Big 12 movement, Memphis notably absent from being included.
If they could, they probably publicly crucify me. It's insane how serious they take it. They take it like I don't even know.
And they don't even have the recent, in the last 10 to 15 years, they really haven't been relevant.
No, the last time they were relevant was with Derrick Rose, and they want to say the one guy pulls up some random budget thing. I don't know who the guy the budget.
You ruffled some feathers when budget talk comes out.
Yeah, top 20 budget. That doesn't mean they're making money. I don't even know who this guy is.
That also doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah. Way to go. You have a big arena.
We're spending money at an insane clip. We spend more dollars per win than any other team in your top 25.
Congrats. High Point. High Point's not a mid-major because they spend a bunch of money. That's the way that we're going with this.
Yeah, the conference affiliation feels like maybe bigger than the budget there when we're talking mid-majors. That's pretty important.
Yep, with the exception of Gonzaga.
Yes, which they've earned it, right? They don't have to point to the budget. They can point to the top 5 rankings.
Exactly.
Are they ranked again? Did they get ranked again? They fell out.
What would it take for Gonzaga to fall back to mid-major status? That's the question I want.
Not play all these big-time games in non-conference, I guess. Their non-conference schedule is just insane because they buy everyone. If they aren't buying everyone, it's a neutral site game.
Yeah.
So, they just got to – I mean, Mark Few probably has to retire for that to happen because he's never leaving Gonzaga. So, he has to retire, and they need to be really bad for 3 years.
If the Dukes win a tournament game this year, next year I'm going to pop in your mentions and be like, they're not a mid-major anymore.
I wouldn't be shocked. You guys would probably be one of the next fan bases. I
Yeah.
can see JMU making a jump in the next couple years. I've been saying it for a while.
They'll get mad. Fans will definitely find a way to be like, whoa, you'll get some budget replies from JV fans for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then
We have a top FBS football program.
exactly. The Sun Belt is the best group of 5 team. Therefore, we are part of the 6. We're part of the Power 6 now. Or I guess the Power 3, whatever it is in football.
Just wait until you guys make the playoffs next year in football. That's when it's really going to start if that happens.
And we're not a mid-major anymore if we make a damn playoff. Nope. But anything else, Bennett?
No, that was great, Nick. Thank you for joining us. I should have known coming in too that I didn't realize this, that you and Jack, I didn't piece it together until early on. This was going to become like half JMU, half Queens.
We run into each other all the time now.
Yeah, we could have gone even more in depth. I'll be there on Wednesday. Hopefully we get back at not to like pat myself on the back, but games I've attended, the Royals are 2-0. So
that's huge.
Let's make it 3-0.
I need BJ McLaurin to go off, go lights out from deep. Chris Ashby. Trying to think who else. Who's the starting point guard?
AJ McKee.
AJ McKee. He's
so many household names.
Yeah, as you all know. I mean, there's also Malcolm Wilson.
Yep, 7-footer from Georgetown.
Yep, that would be great for JMU to get in the portal. But apparently we don't like anyone higher than 6'9".
Yeah, what's that about?
But Nick, where can everyone find you and keep up with all the great work you're doing?
Yeah, you can follow me over on Twitter at mid_madness and at Lorensen Sports.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. I'll see you Wednesday.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. See you Wednesday, Jack.
Dope.
We love Nick.
Nick's my favorite because no one else has. He's the John Rothstein of mid-major basketball, but better than John Rothstein.
Yeah, I don't have to be concerned. I can just be like, JMU plays Akron in 2 weeks. What do you know about Akron? He's like, here's what I love about their walk-on forward.
Who pulled down 17 rebounds in their first game, which is amazingly impressive.